Ready?
All right, I'm going to call the meeting of the River Plantation Municipal Utility District Board of Directors to order at 6:37 p.m. Did you just catch it, Ms. Kim?
No, I got away.
Okay.
But he came over here and he knows what I.
Okay. First item on the agenda is, did you get it?
No, he came your way.
Yeah, it's gonna be back over here. So, first item on the agenda is, or the only item on the agenda is to hear from the people who might be interested in running for the open position on the board of directors. Do we have a sign-in sheet back there, Richard, or a? Not as many as I thought we were going to have.
That looks like it.
Okay, I'm just going to take them in order of who I know. So, Mark Denham, you want to address the board?
Would love to. Thank you for the opportunity. My name is Mark Denham. I've been a resident in River Plantation for a little more than 17 years. I have over 44 years of public service in law enforcement and security, primarily in law enforcement, federal, state, and local. Still actively employed in the security field. I work as an executive in security for a major healthcare system in the Houston metropolitan area. I'm also an adjunct professor for a major university, teaching young students, helping them with their career. And with that, I'll take advantage of the mentoring opportunities. I'm also very active in this community as well as all the other communities I've been in before. Just real briefly, I developed a number of years ago a group of people that annually went to Mexico. We provided mission work, we provided construction and doctors and dentists to the unprivileged people in some rural areas outside Mexico City, about 2 hours south. Loved that opportunity, and from that experience decided to create our own local mission work outreach ministry. This is in a former city and state that I lived in. And it was a multicultural, multi-denominational organization, and annually we went and helped the elderly who could not afford to paint their own homes, fix their own homes. We did it no charge to them, and it was the youth of these different churches and worship houses that were the working force. So that continues to this day, being very successful. Here in this community, I've been very active with helping the elderly, more of a private thing. I don't advertise it too much. Some in this room know of some of the things that I've done, helping people with their homes, fixing them up when they were in disarray, about to have some issues because they were not meeting the guidelines. So I'm continuously helping those people out. I have a master's in criminal justice and leadership and management. With that experience and education and training that I've mentioned, I've been very successful. Particularly the older I get, I find that it benefits being seasoned, if you will, to make solid decisions. I take great pride in my common sense to be applied along with the education and experience and training that I have. I do live on the park, so I have a strong interest in good decisions being made on moving forward with already the great decisions that have been made. Thank y'all very much. And then also, I have obviously a strong interest in the water system. I am an end user. In fact, I'm quite a big end user because everything around the house is planted and has to be watered. And I tend to drink a lot of water. So I do have that experience. However, I do not have experience of being on such a board. However, I'm confident with my background that it's a short learning curve. I'm assuming, only assuming, that all of the current boards and perhaps many of the previous board members did not have that experience either, but they learned quick and took an interest in their community and what is best on the decisions being made with the service that the MUD provides to them. I am a strong advocate of collaboration. I believe that any group of body cannot be successful unless they can work together, work civilly and work professionally, making the best decisions that they should make. And when there are different decisions, which that people may have, or different opinions, I think that's healthy. But yet, because sometimes people may have a thought that other people didn't thought of, and so it gives them a chance to talk about it. But yet, once a final decision has been made, through that collaboration belief that I have and practice, I feel like that once you walk out that door, you should have one voice. And that one voice should be the deciding factor that that committee made. So there shouldn't be anything that goes beyond that once that decision's been made. And that's the belief that I would have and that I would follow, and I would encourage everybody else on the board, if they weren't already following that, that's how I would encourage it. As I said, am a strong believer in working with people and mentoring. Throughout my career, I've been a trainer, educator, and have always had to make tough decisions. I'm assuming that there are times that this body has to make those tough decisions. I'm very accustomed to that. Whether it's a popular decision or not, you have to take the facts as you have them. And speaking of facts, lastly, I'll end up by saying that I am not a person who makes a quick decision, quick judgment, unless it's necessary, like a knee-jerk type reaction. I think we should gather up all the facts, and with that educated decision and information that you have, then make that final judgment. So that is who I am in a nutshell, and if y'all have any questions, I actually know each one of you, of course. I would love to hear that you might have anything, but I also would like to say, y'all thought it was ended. I'm going to do a Columbo. Y'all remember Columbo? Oh, one last thing. One last thing. No, I wanted to go ahead and acknowledge also that I actually had a huge support to be on this board during the last election. And I was on the fence. I wanted to do it, but then I didn't want to do it. I had some personal concerns at the time, and I'm hoping that I still have that support because I have looked at it again now that I see this opportunity, and it's a good fit for me. It's a good fit for what I already feel like that I provide for this community, but it's a way to be a little bit more official instead of the unofficial. Y'all have heard me speak here before when there was a concern, and quite often that is what I express comes not just from me, but from other people that I talk to in the community, who talk to me, who see me as basically like I would call it an unofficial leader. And so I bring that voice and have shared that before, and I think most recently, probably 2 meetings ago. I was not able to make the last meeting because I was out of town at a conference, but I would be engaged. I would provide the time that is necessary, and I would be honored if given that opportunity. And that's all I have to say about that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Do you have any questions?
No, I'm good.
Any questions?
You were out of town at a conference last time, and I'm wondering, is your Thursday schedule pretty open and available for attending the meetings?
Yes, this was just a one-off annual conference that I went to, and it started on a Wednesday and ended on Saturday of all things. So I drove back on Sunday. So I really didn't have a weekend, but those opportunities don't come up very often. I'm usually home every night, and so it's a rarity when I'm not available.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Reed Watson.
He started out strong.
Yeah, sorry you can't follow.
I can't follow that. So I'm an engineer,
Just
so I
tell
don't.
us who you are.
I'm Reed Watson, and I'm an engineer, so I don't like standing in front of people and talking. And so, following that, I'm just gonna be short.
Say.
So, I currently am a senior reliability engineer for Boeing commercial airplanes.
Let me interrupt. He thought he wasn't gonna make it, so he asked me
Okay.
to bring these to
Yeah.
him. Because
Okay,
his daughter
Okay.
had a dental emergency.
Yeah.
okay,
So he's had me bring these down for him.
okay.
So anyway,
So I'm currently a senior reliability engineer for Boeing commercial airplanes, and so I work on 777X and 737 MAX and the certification and recertification efforts for those airplanes. My job obviously is not in Washington State. I'm 100% remote. Don't ever have to go up there.
That's good for you.
Yeah, it's nice to work from home, and I haven't had a job like this before. I started consulting, so working from home has been very nice. Previous jobs I've had, the commutes wouldn't even let me consider coming to sit at this meeting and listen to it, so this has been a nice change. I've lived in the neighborhood for 20 years. I lived on Marymount Park for about 15 years, and I lived on Williamsburg Park for 5. What attracted me to this neighborhood to begin with was it reminded me of a lot of the fondest memories of growing up in Kessler Park in Dallas when I was a kid in the 70s and 80s. Like I said, I'm an engineer. I got my degree in aerospace engineering from A&M, and after I graduated in May 2000, I started a 10-year career with various contracts at the Johnson Space Center. And after getting laid off from there in 2010, I started work for different industries. I worked for Nova Drilling, and I worked for a small tech startup, and I was sort of all over the board. But now I'm in consulting, so it's a nice change. I supported the bond both times because the neighborhood is aging, and I think that the infrastructure needs to be taken care of. And I think that's the best way to do it, so I'm glad that it passed the second time. As far as the park that the MUD owns, I think that needs to be stayed as like a recreational area. Maybe some improvements to, make it a little more pretty all the time, because it kind of grows up still. It's not like it was before, thankfully, but but I think that it's nice to have that
And
as
this
a
week's
green
an
space.
anomaly.
Yeah, so, that's me, sorry, it's detailed.
And I hear there's
But
something
wait.
about popcorn.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say the most important thing.
Well, yeah, and we started getting into some different business ventures. We bought the Candy House in the Woodlands. Mr. Baker, if you know the Candy House, passed away in January 2021, and the family sold to us in September. And then I'm a photographer, so I'm just trying to get that more professional. And then my brother-in-law and I are working on something that I can't talk about yet. So we're kind of all of a sudden going, wow, so.
So I'm gonna go off of Tim's question. Will you have time to make the meetings once a month
Yes.
on Thursday nights?
Yes.
Have you attended any previous meetings?
I have not, but like I said before, I never have, simply because of my commute, I didn't have time. I would get home after 7, so.
Okay.
no,
You have any questions?
no, I'm good.
Thank you.
All right.
I
Okay.
think I know most of it.
I know. Well,
You followed your letter pretty well.
Yeah.
I hope so, I wrote it. Usually when I stand up, though, I'm like, oh crap, what did I write?
Yeah.
Well, I can give you a copy.
You read it, yeah. Betty Brown.
Okay, I wrote mine down because I've been taking notes the last couple of days, and I thought, well, I didn't want to forget some things I had, and so I decided to write it.
Okay.
So I'll just kind of read it
Okay.
from there. I think most of you know me. My name is Betty Brown. I have owned my home in River Plantation for about 8 years. I love this community and plan on staying here until the very end. Through the years, I've witnessed many changes, but I believe the most important and best change is in this board, the RPMUD board. I think that most people assume that the RPMUD is part of the RPCIA, and that is just not true. I know you guys are a government entity and are regulated by the state of Texas through the TCEQ. You have laws and rules you must follow. I've attended many meetings, too many to count, and I would like to take this opportunity to thank you, Julie, and the rest of the board for your time and hard work to make the necessary changes for the betterment of the district. You all have met resistance, but you have stayed strong, and I admire that. River Plantation is an older community that has had a great deal of neglect, and believe now that we have the current board, we're on the right track. Meetings alone have improved, as in the past, property owners were rudely shut off and told they did not know what they were talking about. I attended many of those meetings. I know there were sinkholes throughout the district due to the old crumbling pipes, drainage issues, water treatment issues, etc. I have seen these myself. And you guys have made a commitment to correct all of these issues. I personally and fully supported the bonds. Thank you for not giving up on the bonds. Now the district will be able to begin fixing those issues. I believe one of the reasons that many voted against the bonds is that they, as individuals, did not do their homework. People tend to just listen to others' rhetoric without getting the facts for themselves. I'm a detailed person, so I did not listen to what the individuals said, either for or against. I did my homework before making my decision. I have researched and asked many questions and fully understand that the RPMUD is a municipal utility district, government entity that must operate under the laws and regulations mandated by the state of Texas. I have served on other boards and fully understand the rules and laws regarding executive session and that the board is not allowed to share the information discussed in executive sessions. I also understand the laws of a quorum. I believe that with this board, you are only allowed to discuss any business with only one other member of the board at any time, or legally you could be indicted. My background is in contract negotiations. For the last 25 years, I've worked for the third largest shipping company in the world. Many times I would have as many as 40 annual contracts to review and negotiate, most from other countries. I worked very hard to climb the ladder in a man's world, and I'm proud to say that I have retired as a senior executive manager. I have worked also on charity boards, and I'm fully aware of how the board work. I've also volunteered a great deal in River Plantation. I've seen firsthand the problems this district faces and what the RPMUD is against. While at the University of Houston, I learned the importance of getting the facts, listening to all sides, and making informed decisions. I am a detail-oriented and take every job or position seriously. I'm also a team player and work very well with others. I make my decisions on facts, and I truly believe I can be an asset to your board. I look forward to filling this vacancy and helping all of you continue the hard work you have become.
Thank you. That's good, I know that.
No, I know she attends the meetings, so.
So Thursday nights, one night a month?
I have no problem doing that. I'm retired, and I've come to most of the meetings, and I listen to what's said and take that home and research and look and drive around my golf cart and look at some of the issues myself.
Okay. Good. Okay. Okay. Next one on the list, Tim Horner.
I just thought there was gonna be a question
Oh.
and answer. We'll save that for another meeting.
Okay. All right.
I bet you say, what?
He was about to try to get you. Okay. Denise Horner. No? Okay. D Judge. No? We're good? We're good.
Well, I'm glad I didn't put my name down on there.
Okay. So 3?
No, there's only three. Is that
Only
correct?
3 to be considered, I
I
guess?
should say only three. It's gonna be a tough choice.
Yeah. Yeah. So, okay. All right. We're going to adjourn into executive session, and we will announce our decision at the next board meeting on May 26th,
26, is that right?
whatever the 4th Thursday is. 26th, Paul?
Yeah, that's right.
26? Okay.
So you won't make the decision tonight? Or you might?
We will, but we won't
You won't
announce it and we won't vote on it
Oh,
until the next regularly scheduled board meeting. So,
Yeah, we have to vote
we
in
have to vote
public
in open
session.
session.
oh.
Right, there's not an agenda
Didn't
item
have it on
for
there.
this information tonight.
I couldn't hear you. Say again.
It wasn't
Yeah,
on the
there's
agenda.
a-
It has to be on the agenda.
Tonight is just consideration, it's not action.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
okay. Well, you got to hear the three
Yeah.
candidates,
Or
all very
Who's here?
qualified. All very qualified,
Thank you for
so
coming in and doing
I don't know that we can make a bad decision.
He walked out fast.
So-
You're all dressed up even.
It's out of the
And you
board.
didn't get